today's space I'm holding,
Okay.
like how poor man's daughter, I had a dream. I think I shared this with you. I had a dream. I used to work as a florist in the past.
Okay.
Have I told you?
I don't
That
think
was my
so.
first job I had
Yeah, I don't
held
think you
when I
have it.
came to this country. I used to make garland, Indian style for
Oh,
brides and stuff.
nice.
I had
That's
my
awesome.
first license as
Nice.
a florist. In
No
Boston
way.
Flower Exchange, I used to do
Really?
garlands and stuff. But what that space was, I had this intense dream that I'm supposed to deliver two black-eyed Susan
Okay.
floral arrangement to a customer of mine.
Okay.
And the floral arrangement is all done. It looks like it's a very expensive one. So I sold it for $700,
Okay.
but my wholesale pricing was $350. So
Okay.
essentially, I kind of made my profit already, and it
Right.
had this name tag written, the whole bouquet done. It's a real plant grown for many years, So you
Wow.
could see that's why it was very expensive.
Right.
Because sometimes it's like high end, like bridal,
Right. Yes.
but it's like
Expensive.
it's
Yes.
so it's kind of looked like a high end customer I was making for, but
Okay.
it was both beautiful. So like
Nice.
so like for me, I felt proud that
Yes.
it
You're
is
accomplishing.
fair. Like
Yeah.
it was like much nice. Like
Right.
it's like wedding, right? Like
Right.
so both arrangements subconsciously almost feels like my completion from Indian way of being raised, American way
Okay.
of being raised. So I'm delivering. So my train is journeying, and suddenly there's an earthquake, and the train derails. So everything is lost. But there is immediately rescue team.
Okay.
So everything is being rescued. So I know for sure it's going to be delivered because the everything is perfect
Right.
and it's not
Right.
going to be destroyed in my mind.
Right.
So that has been delivered already. But my journey now begins to go down to the spirit earth to make sure nothing is left behind. My goal is to make sure, even if I come empty handed, I have done my part where I am not leaving anything behind.
Right.
Even the little
Okay.
existence of doubt is there,
Okay.
without a shred of doubt, right?
Yes.
So, and interestingly, when I woke up, I looked at Black Eyed Susan. Black Eyed Susan is about inner transformation. You go in to your soul, to the depth where your soul is stuck.
Yes.
And Black Madonna
Yeah.
is in a very dark, deep end in Poland, and it seems her face is filled with soot because people light candle in her presence, and her face became
Okay.
black. It exists. Black
Oh.
Madonna. I didn't
Oh
know that.
wow.
So Black Eyed Susan is called Black Madonna. And in India, they call her Matangi, the mother of flow. She's
Okay.
also like, from earth.
Okay.
So she's the dark part of abundance. Like, in
Okay.
abundance, it's also hard work.
Right.
But what people see is the fruits of the labor, not
Oh.
necessarily the amount of transformation we did
Right.
inside. So it was very interesting for me culturally to come across these two pieces.
Yeah.
And it looked like my soul needs to do this journey by itself to understand, am I complete?
Okay.
So I was doing the depth meditation stuff. And interestingly, the space I'm stuck at when I'm going very, very deep because I'm doing the depth meditation for millions of years
Right.
is there is a mythological, or rather avatar, like the incarnation of God called Ram.
Okay.
He sends away his wife when she was pregnant
Okay.
to raise her children in the forest, not knowing she is pregnant.
Okay.
And she raises her children, and eventually, when he encounters, he brings her back. But still, to accept her, he makes her go through walks of fire.
Right.
She has to walk through the coals.
Okay.
And then, still, the society raises the question about her chastity. And then eventually she says, Mom, split the earth and take me back. And that's the way the story ends.
Oh.
So it was very interesting.
That is interesting.
But the place I'm stuck at is like, see, I had lots of life challenges,
Okay.
but I always felt in my past, I have no time to cry today, let me cry tomorrow. And I kept
Right.
moving.
Yes.
One night, my husband called the police. I was pregnant with my youngest one,
Okay.
2002,
Okay.
and I was in my pregnancy, and my husband called the police first, and because he called the police for he was the victim, I was the abuser, and I
Okay.
was homeless at night.
Okay.
My life shifted that night. but I never cried.
Right.
I on that brink of crisis, I said, I don't want to lose my soul. I told my dad, I'm going to leave everything here. I'm going to go back to India. My dad says, your babies don't have voices. He said the eldest one was 3, then middle one was 2. I was pregnant, my third one, and he says, they will, when they grow up, will look at you and say, how dare you, mom, walk out on me.
Right. Right.
And I felt ashamed afterwards to even consider, but I felt I was going to lose my soul. But
Okay.
I did lose a piece of me that night
Right.
that believed I can trust people.
Okay.
But I asked my husband, would you do this again? He said yes, he would do it again. I went and bought another property. He says that's not up to his par. He was so angry. So I
Okay.
took the criteria off. I went and bought another property.
Yes.
And then finally, now he's very angry. I have 2 different properties from him.
Okay.
Not understanding even now that the reason I did it is because what happened to me.
Right.
But the place I'm stuck is pregnant and abandoned.
Yes.
Like, I feel even if I bring it to my, like yesterday, weirdly, I was talking to one of my Indian friends,
Right.
and she says, have you ever heard about this domestic violence program for India? I said, do you think I didn't know what to do? It took me 10 years. And my husband finally, May 12, 2012, because I can remember these dates.
Right.
May
Right.
12, 2012,
Wow.
he finally said he would not throw me out. 2002, he called the police. It took him 10 years to say that. And they are thinking I didn't work on me. I worked on me. I
Right.
worked very, very hard on me.
Right.
But still, there is this little being in me
Mm.
that says, how is that God watched me walk away from my own pregnant?
Yes.
And my dad says, I sat with you and stuff. But I said, like, where is this peace in me that I'm going to heal? But
Right.
I'm also seeing this girl, like, happen the same way happen. So I connect with her now. I'm like saying, how did you deal with it, mom? Like, how did you
Right.
feel that
Right.
was for you? Just like Mary, right? She was abandoned by her family, right? Like, she was pregnant.
Right.
She gave birth in what is it called? The cattle,
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it has happened again and again. It's not like
Right.
I'm the
Right.
unique. So that's why maybe the connection between Black Mother and Matangi is coming in. Like, for me, I feel how can a society watch this?
Right.
It's like,
Right.
and say it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
but anyway, so that's a space, and it's very painful for me to process. It's like almost like I have to deal with it, whether I like it or not, and that's the place I am at.
Right.
I'm making a decision from that space today.
Yes.
Does it mean it's good or bad? I have no idea, but
Right.
it's very painful to
Yeah.
process it. I'm like saying, okay, I didn't have time to cry then,
Right. Right.
but it's not even something people can even understand or comprehend.
Right.
But it's my journey, and I have to understand.
Yeah.
So the piece, this is my rich man's daughter's hand. I mean, rich man's wife.
Okay.
Rich man's wife. It's
Yes.
very, very rich,
Yeah.
My husband went to Arizona.
Okay.
He bought this. I have no idea how much it cost him.
That's pretty.
And so
like
last week when I was doing meditation, I would go to Discount Valley. For $1, I got the same thing. So he went all the way to Arizona
Oh
to
my
get.
goodness. That's too funny. Oh my God.
I'm like saying,
But
God
you-
is saying,
You never know. It might be a little bit different than,
but
you know.
what I'm saying, it doesn't matter. The thing is, God is giving exactly what I need,
Right.
but it's me to come into that grateful place. So
Right.
what I am thinking is, like, yes, it happened, but what changed in my life because of that? I became very independent. I became never to trust my
Right.
husband. I mean, I will do right by him,
Yes.
but I was a royalty by my own standard. I
Sleep
call
with
my
one eye
shots.
open.
I'm very, I'm
Yeah.
very powerful when I make my decision. I don't
Right.
let another person tell me we make this decision because we are afraid. I said no, no, no.
Right.
I don't work with you.
Right. Yeah.
So I literally, I'm very bold,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I also need to understand the challenges happen to give me direction.
Mhm.
See, the thing is for me to be a mother spirit to guide my patients back to that space of power. I need to hold power. I cannot tell you, go
Yes.
live your life powerfully when I made a very poor choice in my life, and you would say, let's say,
No, no.
seriously,
Right.
if you get advice from Hillary Clinton how to deal with your husband,
Yeah.
I would have a problem. I'm
Oh
like,
my God. No. No. No.
no, I shouldn't bring literally, like,
I know
what
what
I'm
you mean.
saying is
Yeah.
you cannot give advice from power
Yes.
when you have not lived it yourself.
Right.
You need to walk the walk.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
that's where I am at. So to bring back to the conch, you were asking me about it, three pieces. The three pieces is the ring. I used to
Okay.
wear a soap ring made with turtle like shape. I love turtles because
Oh.
they endure a lot in their life.
Yeah.
At a baby stage, mom leaves them.
Oh.
They train themselves to
Yeah.
find their own way. I don't know how they relate to each other. I mean, it's very
Right.
interesting. But
Right.
so in Georgia, we were coming back from Florida. In the so I always look for conch rings for
Okay.
my pinky finger,
Yes.
and I found this turtle soapstone ring, which it almost looked like made of shell.
Yes.
Was $1.50.
Oh my goodness.
I wore it like for 2 3
Forever.
years
Yeah.
until it broke.
Oh.
And then my bangle, my aunt bought it for me from this power goddess called Kali, which is
Okay.
the Black Madonna in
Okay.
India,
Yeah.
and she's in Calcutta. She is given as a form of aggression that comes out of the mother to protect their children,
Okay.
and so hers was a bangle. All the married ladies in India wear this conch bangle, and
Okay.
again the bangle means like the belly of the place where you produce noise in the shell,
Okay.
like how we make noise from the tip,
Yes.
and then the hearing piece. Finally, last week during meditation, I was looking at Shiva. Shiva is the ultimate complete completion. That is like whatever we are stuckness in ours that needs to be processed, he'll keep giving us challenges until we are healed.
Okay.
Which is another way to think about life. Like,
Right.
life again and again smack puts you where you
Mm.
need to grow.
Yes. Yes.
But interestingly, I was looking at him and he had on his left hand, he wears a ring on the forefinger and little finger,
Yes.
and his ears were stretched out and he put stretcher.
Yes.
And my teacher was saying that's the symbol of conch, the end, where the noise comes out
Okay.
because you listen better.
Oh.
So it was another completion for me. I said, oh my God, I never connected two and
Yeah.
two together. I never realized stretching ear
Right.
is what we do to listen better as a
Oh,
conch.
that's
And
funny,
like
huh?
so that's where I'm at, pregnant and abandoned.
Okay.
And I don't know what the answer is. But then my teacher was doing a lecture. He says, the reason Ram let her go is not because he wanted to punish her. He says it's as a highly ascended being. He says he knew his wife would do better raising her kids in the forest rather than influenced by people who were gossiping and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So he sent away so that his children would have the best possible outcome in their life. And eventually he encounters them because he is trying to do a prayer ceremony and he encounters these two beautiful looking boys
Yeah.
and they equally fight him and he couldn't win them. He has
Oh my
won all the
goodness.
wars and he could. Then
Yes.
finally he is stunned. And then he says, who are you guys out of respect? And they say, my mother is this. And that's when he connects. He's a father.
Oh my goodness.
So
That's
obviously
too
it's another
funny.
completion, right?
That's
So
funny.
again, they are twins, like just
Yeah.
like my black eyed Susan.
Yeah.
And then last week I came across this car, a beetle, which is yellow beetle I bought
Yes.
on Craigslist.
Yeah.
And again, it feels like I'm driving the exact thing that
Yes.
my dream was about.
Right. Right.
So I'm at a place where I need to heal that girl in me that was
Okay.
pregnant and abandoned, which is million years old problem. And I am trying to ask that lady, like, whether it's Mary or
Right.
Sita, they call her Sita,
Okay.
Mama Sita.
Oh yes. Yep.
She endures a lot. She's Earth Mother itself.
Okay.
Did you feel emotional? Like I'm trying to connect with her and say, how did you feel that day when
Right.
you were let go, not knowing what your plan was, but you were suddenly put on a boat and sent away,
Right. Right.
not knowing what's going on
Yes.
with you.
What's gonna happen? Yeah. Oh my god.
So that's a space I'm making my decisions. So it's very painful, very
Yeah.
painful. But the problem is not today. It's millennials, like many teenage pregnancies. We let go. It's like
Yes.
so that's a space I'm working out of this week.
I had that problem. I
I
had
know.
a young, yeah, when I was young. Well, I was
How
young.
did you deal with it?
I don't know. I think I'm still dealing with it. I mean, I still get very like angry about, not angry, but like just like how, I don't know how you could just walk away from. Well, actually, I kind of know how because my son's father was on drugs, so he was like, he wasn't himself, anyways. So, but it was hard. I was a young kid. I was 16 when and I was all
And
by
how
myself.
many months you were pregnant?
How many men?
How many months?
Oh, how many months? I was pregnant. Well, he was 2 weeks late, so I was 9 months.
No, no. When he abandoned.
Oh,
When your family
oh,
were not there.
well, no, I was living with him and his family, but and when I was still pregnant, I was about like maybe 7 months when he started doing like bad drugs. Yeah, and because I
So you
noticed
were
things
you didn't have
missing.
a choice of
hmm
moving out.
And then when I started to go into labor, he brought me to the hospital, and then, he's like, "Oh, I'm scared," and he left. He left me there,
So
and then
you
he
gave
came
birth
back.
alone.
Yeah, yep.
And
And
he came back after the birth, or
no, during when I was still having, contractions and stuff, to ask me for money.
wow.
Yeah. And I told him, shut the doors and lock it and don't let him back in the hospital. So he didn't
Wow.
let him back in. Until after I had the baby, but like, well, how can you do that? Like, that's your baby. You know what I mean? I mean, even at a young age, I mean, I knew, like,
Did he
that's not.
ever did he ever plug back into a child's life again?
Yeah, now more, I mean, than before because
At
he's
what
still,
age?
mm, recent, maybe, like, he was in and out, always with the family though. The family always took my son like for the whole summer, when he was out of school. His grandmother loves him, the whole family loves him, but he's still like, I don't think he knows how to be a father, seriously, because he even has other children too now, and it's like I think he still does stuff here and there.
And your son is
My
close
son,
to you emotionally?
yes, oh yeah. And my son went through a hard time with that. He was very angry. He was an angry child, but I think that's because of what he did to him.
And so totally you have two kids right now?
Who, me?
You.
Two kids? No, three. I have two kids.
So you have a daughter and then another son?
Nope, I have one son. He's 22, and then my daughter's 16, and my daughter 10.
And then so now you're going through a process of your daughter being pregnant, giving birth, and
Mm-hmm.
you said it was emotionally very painful. But
Yeah.
to see her settled is good for you,
Yes.
right?
Oh, yes.
So maybe she's an extension of your life where she's living another way where she's getting more support. It's so
Right.
interesting. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Life, like, gives you the same opportunity to learn again and again and again the lesson you need to learn.
Right.
And that's exactly where I'm like, not understanding how to process this.
Right.
And
And my
it's,
son, he never supported him or nothing. And my son, he'll work 3 jobs to support his family. He just
even
had
though he's
twins.
only 23,
Yeah. He'll be 23 next month on the
he
28th.
already had a twin.
He just had the twins, yes, and he already has a 4-year-old son, and he's worked,
So three
never
kids already.
collected welfare, nothing. So, yeah. So he
He's
will
doing
never be
it.
like his
So how
father.
many boys, girls between the twins and his son?
So he has his son Bentley, and he's 4, and then the 2 twins are 2 girls. So yeah,
So
they're very cute. Oh my God, they are so adorable. But yeah, he's a good, he's a hardworking boy, kid, man,
so that's
whatever.
where I'm working at. And if I come across an answer, because that's what he said. He said it's the ambience, the space you create for your children that says it's safe for them.
Okay.
Is more important than looking at it from another angle where, because if you had stayed with him, it would have been a chaotic. So
Oh,
like
yeah.
that's another way to look.
Right.
But for me, like what it created me is such a strong emotional strength in me. Nothing will.
break it.
break it.
Yes.
Like, my spirit grew so strong.
Yes.
There's no
Mhm.
question.
Oh yeah. Me too. I'm
Like,
sure.
for me, I feel I've reached the divine mother status that day.
Right.
But, like the price I paid was I lost that innocence of allowing love is so sweet, and trusting a
Mhm.
relationship, trusting
Yes.
somebody to take care of it.
Right.
That's like that
Right.
song, there's a hero if you look inside your heart,
Yeah. Yeah.
don't have to be afraid of
Right.
who you are. So I think it became a hero for me
Yeah.
today. But I did pay a price though,
Right.
and I lost that little girl in me that
Right.
day, and I grew to be a woman.
Yes.
And now it doesn't matter whether people like me or not. I know I like me. That's
Yeah.
all that matters.
That's right. Exactly. That's all you have to think about.
And if you tell me when you healed that, we
Yeah.
will do another cut.
Okay.